I've enjoyed gaming for most of my life, but there was a time when life just sort of got in the way, and I missed out on quite a lot of games. Titles big and small, including Mass Effect, GTA 4, The Witcher 3, they were all games that looked really cool, but I never got to try out. Since returning to gaming though, I've caught up on some, but looking at my backlog, it definitely feels like I've barely scratched the surface. This year I managed to get through quite a few, so today we're going to look back through these and highlight my top 5. So, now that my ramblings are done, let's get on with the list.
Shut the f up!
Number 5. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine.
Try to keep up.
This day is getting interesting.
If you've seen my Warhammer video, you will know I'm not exactly a hardcore 40k fan, but I've always been keen on the lore and the miniatures and the world that's been built. Initially, I wasn't even sure about finishing this game. I actually stopped for a while, but I did come back, and boy am I glad I did. I started a fresh playthrough and I ended up enjoying it way more than I expected, especially the music. There's just heaps of action and gore, and it's just old school hack and slasher fun. On top of that though, there's plenty of gunplay and weapon variety to choose from too. I'm not actually sure what it was that made me finish this game this time. Perhaps it was outside influences or my wish to make the video, or maybe it was because of the announcement of the sequel. Whatever it was though, I'm converted. Speaking of which, the sequel now officially has a release date and I'm super keen. I don't normally like buying games at launch, but I might consider it this time. Number 4. Halo 2 Anniversary.
Are you sure?
Get tactical, Marines!
Alright. Shoot.
I honestly had a hard time making this choice. I really liked all 3 of the Halo games I played this year. Halo 2 and Halo Reach were both all new experiences for me, and I really loved both. I think the story in Reach hits a bit harder and tugs more at your heartstrings though, perhaps because you already know what's in store. Halo 2 though was just incredible. Like the music, the combat, the story made this such a great package, and the updated graphics was just the cherry on top. I feel like if they did a remaster or remake of Reach, not that it needs it, it would be really good, but for this list I'm gonna stick with Halo 2 Anniversary. Like, there are actually so many awesome moments throughout all the levels when I think of Halo 2. From the poignant Arbiter missions to the action-packed Scarab section, from the range of drivable vehicles to the epic ending that leaves you wanting more, Halo 2 is just a great experience all round. Number 3. Far Cry 3.
Way up in the skies, you thought you had your finger on the trigger. But I'm here. You hit the ground.
Yes, I did pick this as my 3rd choice on purpose. In all seriousness though, this game is pretty amazing. Look, this is a game I was very late to the party on. Vaas is an absolutely iconic villain at this point, essentially synonymous with the whole Far Cry franchise, and for good reason. The story, the soundtrack, the graphics, which I admit did not impress me initially, but I came round to. There's so many aspects to this game that just shines through. The characters, the action and exploration, the open world design, it's all just so well put together that this whole package is just an awesome video game experience. I mean, this game is pretty old now, but the story is so captivating that it easily still holds up. The characters are all still interesting on both sides, and the gameplay loop is so awesome it just kept me hooked. This game really encourages me to check out the sequels, though I have heard people saying that part 3 is the best, so I guess I'll have to see when I get to them. Number 2. Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. Now, I've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. I'm honestly not a Metroidvania type gamer. Ori and the Blind Forest though is something really special. It's just spectacular. I really debated where this game should sit on this list, but I couldn't bring myself to list it any lower than number 2. The last time I played a side-scroller was probably back in 2018 when I played Mark of the Ninja. It was a great game, but even then, the genre sort of just didn't click with me. But playing through Ori this year though, feels like such an eye-opener. The visuals and story are obviously very well done. The music and gameplay though elevates this game to a high level. And when all of it is combined, it's honestly just magical. After finishing this little gem, I'm much more inclined to try more of the Metroidvania genre now. The thing is, I already own Hollow Knight and Death's Gambit, and I feel like I really have to try and fit them into my schedule. I have heard they can both be quite challenging though, so fingers crossed I get through them. Number 1. Titanfall 2. Was there really any doubt? This game is absolutely epic. This is what gaming is about. The story and gameplay really just hooks you from minute 1. I've played a fair few games now and not many keep me constantly thinking about my next session. Titanfall 2 was definitely one of them though. If you look through the list of older games I finished this year, you'll notice that my Titanfall 2 video went live before my Rise one did. I actually stopped playing Rise midway through with only a week left, smashed through Titanfall 2, and then went back to Rise. Like, I actually got so annoyed at playing through Rise on Legendary difficulty that I stopped playing the game, went into Titanfall 2 blind, and just couldn't step away until I finished it. That's just how good this game is. It's just so addicting. Titanfall 2 is still a sensational game in 2023. If you played it already, you will know how good it is, and if you're watching this video, this can be your excuse to go through and play it again. And if you haven't played it, then take this as a sign to do so, because I truly believe it will be worth your time. I mean, the multiplayer is still kicking, and rightly so, but if you enjoy single player games, this one is exceptional. The only downside is that there isn't more of it. And the fans were right, this franchise deserves a sequel. Right, so that's my top 5 out of the way. But before you go, I wanted to list a couple of games that in my book are worthy of an honourable mention. First up, we have Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. This game really is an absolute gem. The combat is really simple, but in my opinion, it's still very fun. For this style of story-focused game, the combat honestly feels like it's enough for me. There's something about the sound or visuals, it just feels like it's really well crafted. In fact, I kinda think that more death could actually take away from the whole experience. Looking at how there is virtually no heads-up display, you know the level of commitment the development team had and how much weight they put on immersion. Having said that though, there is a sequel coming soon, and I feel like they will definitely be expanding upon the combat. I guess we'll have to wait and see how that plays out, but I am definitely keeping a close eye on it. The second honourable mention is Darksiders Warmastered Edition. Look, I'm not going to pretend and say this should have been Game of the Year material or even a really epic game, but something about this one is like a guilty pleasure for me. This is actually one of the few games that I managed to play during the time I was busy with life. I guess it just holds a really special spot in my heart because in a way you could say it's a game that reintroduced me back into gaming. The combat is arguably simple and the graphics aren't anything special, but the music is pretty awesome and the story is something I really fell in love with. The whole concept of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse is just something that sounded so cool and got me hooked pretty quickly. I mean, it's just good old wholesome hack and slash fun. Though I really do hope they give us a fourth game with Strife as the main protagonist. And no, Genesis doesn't count. Anyway, that is the list for 2023. I'm planning to do a video on the upcoming games in 2024 that I'm personally looking forward to though. As always, it will be in 2 weeks' time, so keep your eyes peeled if you're interested in seeing what I'm looking forward to. Thanks for watching guys, take care. If you've managed to sit through this whole video, thank you so much for watching. I'm still looking to upload a brand new video once a fortnight, but be sure to let me know what else you'd like to see in the comments. Thanks again for watching, hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.